everybody, it's Mrs. Kemp here to tell you about this week's Marvellous Maths Method. This week's method is arrays. This video is a quick whistle-stop guide to arrays. If arrays are new to you, or if you haven't done them for a while, you might want to go and watch the longer video called Introduction to Arrays, where we'll introduce them step by step. Arrays are a way of organising objects, pictures or numbers into rows and columns to make rectangular or square grid shapes. They're really helpful for helping us to get to understand our times tables and division, and up the school they can be useful for area and perimeter work, and also for working with multiples, factors and prime numbers. So all of the numbers of the day this week will be connected to arrays. Here's a quick concrete example to get you started. Emily had 20 sweets and she wanted to share them equally between 4 friends. So she got her sweets and she gave each an equal number until she had got rid of all 20 of her sweets. She's created an array with 4 rows and 5 in each row. Before we get started, it's important that you're familiar with this vocabulary. Rows are groups going from side to side. Columns are groups going up and down. Division involves sharing fairly into equal groups, and multiplying involves finding out how many all together when you're combining groups. Here's an example of how to use arrays to find lots of different multiplication and division calculations for a number. If my number of the day was 12 and I wanted to use an array to find as many calculations as I could, I would need to start off by getting my 12 into an array. Here I've got 12 red penguins and I'm going to put them into an array. So a rectangle or a square made up of rows and columns. Each row needs the same as the others and each column needs the same as the others so that it's equal. Now I can see that 12 is equal to 3 lots of 4, or 3 times 4. I can also see that 12 is equal to 4 lots of 3, or 4 times 3. Each group has 3 in it and there are 4 groups altogether. I could also write this as 12 divided into 3 equal groups will give you 4 in each group, or 12 divided into 4 equal groups will give you 3 in each group. For some numbers you can make more than one array. For example, for 12 you can make an array with 6 columns of 2 in each column, or 12 equals 6 times 2. You could also see this array as 2 rows of 6, 2 times 6. The matching division calculations for this array would be 12 divided into 6 groups gives you 2 in each group, and 12 divided into 2 groups gives you 6 in each group. Finally, arrays can be helpful for spotting other patterns. For example, you might spot that 10 add 2 equals 12. If you're further up the school in primary 6 or 7, you can use arrays to find the factors of numbers. Factors are 2 numbers that when multiplied together will give you the product or the larger number. For example, 3 and 4 are factors of 12 because 3 times 4 is 12. If we look at factors from a division point of view, a factor divides a number into groups equally without leaving any remainder. So for 12, 12 divided by 3, or 12 divided into 3 groups gives you exactly 4 in each group, or 12 divided by 4 gives you exactly 3 in each group. When we changed our array into 2 rows of 6, we found that 2 and 6 were also factors of 12. Finally, the simplest array that we can make for any number is a single row or column containing all of that number. These are the final 2 factors. For here, 12 and 1. What happens if you try and make an array with one of these numbers? Pause the video and have a go. Think about why these numbers might work this way, and then see if you can find out what this type of number is called. I hope this video has been useful to you, and you can now go and use arrays to explore multiplication and division further.